Welcome to The Explainer. I am incredibly pumped to have you here today because we are looking at an absolute fundamental rewiring of digital commerce. If you're a digital entrepreneur, a developer, or really just someone fascinated by how AI is colliding with retail, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to unpack exactly how artificial intelligence is completely transforming the shopping experience. I mean, from that very first moment of discovery right down to the final checkout. We are officially moving away from manual browsing and entering this wild new era of autonomous agent-led shopping. It's a massive paradigm shift, and today we're going to decode exactly how you can capitalize on it.
Okay, let's dive right into this. For the longest time, the online shopping experience forced a very specific, kind of frustrating compromise on all of us. You could either shop fast, just grabbing the first decent thing you see, or you could shop smart. And shopping smart meant opening 20 tabs, reading endless reviews, and hunting down discount codes. Google's chief business officer, Philip Schindler, recently highlighted this exact friction, pointing out that consumers no longer have to make that compromise. So what happens when artificial intelligence steps in to do all that heavy lifting? You get a system where speed and certainty are finally no longer mutually exclusive.
There is such a stark contrast between these two approaches. Think about the old paradigm for a second, that whole faster smart dilemma. It relied on fragmented search queries and placed literally all the grunt work of comparing, filtering, and validating squarely on your shoulders. But now, welcome to the agentic era, speed and certainty. This is where AI agents handle those complex, multi-step workflows for you. They're assistive, they're highly personal, and they create incredibly fluid experiences. By stripping away all the tedious, boring parts of e-commerce, this era lets consumers actually focus on the fun parts of shopping, while the AI just hums along in the background, making absolutely sure they get the best product at the right price.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll define the agentic commerce era, and then look at two absolutely foundational protocols, UCP, which is basically the new HTTP for commerce, and AP2 for secure agent payments. After that, we'll hit some real-world examples, and finally, break down exactly how you can monetize this new ecosystem.
Section 1. The Agentic Commerce Era and Additive AI Experiences.
So, what exactly is agentic commerce? Well, it's a new retail paradigm where autonomous AI agents assist with incredibly complex, multi-step shopping workflows. And the kicker? They don't just look for the cheapest price. No way. They factor in nuanced preferences like customer service ratings, your existing brand loyalty, even return policies. And all of this is happening directly within generative AI platforms like Google's AI Mode and the Gemini app. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter for my business? Because people are no longer searching with disjointed, fragmented keywords. They're searching conversationally. They are giving massive amounts of context to their AI assistants. If your business wants to thrive, it absolutely must be ready to interact with these autonomous agents because they are effectively the new digital storefront. Section 2. UCP, the new HTTP, driving universal commerce.
PC Mag actually has a brilliant analogy for this. They said UCP does for agentic commerce what HTTP did for the web. It gives agents and systems a common language. UCP stands for the Universal Commerce Protocol. I want you to think back to the early internet, before we had standardized protocols. It was completely fractured and closed off, right? Well, UCP creates this seamless, open-source standard so that an AI agent can conduct product research, compare inventory across multiple different retailers, execute a checkout, and even track a shipment, all using one unified language.
And if you have any doubts whatsoever about whether this is actually the future, just take a look at the UCP Tech Council. I mean, this is basically the Avengers of e-commerce. We're talking Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Salesforce, Shopify, Target, and Google. These are massive industry rivals who are actively coalescing around this single open-source standard. This kind of industry-wide consensus, it's incredibly rare. They are all building the infrastructure to accelerate our transition into an agentic future simply because they realize that an open standard is literally the only way to scale AI shopping globally.
The most immediate, obvious result of UCP is frictionless checkout. Because these platforms now speak the exact same language, a shopper can research a product, compare their options, and actually buy from a merchant without ever leaving their generative AI interface. The AI agent simply reads the UCP data from the retailer, processes the transaction, and finalizes the order directly inside Google Search's AI Mode or the Gemini app. The old friction of navigating to a separate website, adding an item to a cart, and typing out your details to create a new account, that is entirely bypassed.
Section 3. AP2, Secure Agent Payments and the Agent Payments Protocol. So the crucial point here is trust. How do we establish trust when a piece of software is out there spending our money? Well, the Agent Payments Protocol, or AP2, manages this workflow beautifully. It's a simple three-step process. Step 1, you, the user, set strict boundaries. You define your brand preferences and establish hard budget limits. Step 2, the agent goes out into the UCP ecosystem, shops around, and even negotiates autonomously on your behalf based strictly on those parameters. And Step 3, once the optimal product is found, AP2 steps in to execute a frictionless, highly secure payment. You retain absolute control over the guardrails, but you have zero of the manual labor of actually checking out.
And the financial industry isn't just sitting on the sidelines waiting around. They are moving on this right now. Global players are actively building the rails for this protocol as we speak. Revolut Pay, for example, became one of the very first EU payment methods to become compatible with AP2. They're positioning their secure infrastructure to serve as the underlying payment rail for these AI-assisted transactions. So for digital entrepreneurs out there, integrating with AP2-compatible payment gateways is going to be absolutely essential if you want to capture revenue from these AI agents.
Section 4. Redefining the shopping journey.
55%? Hilton EMEA deployed conversational AI and agentic workflows into their marketing and booking processes, and they increased their average booking value by a staggering 55%. When the AI assists the customer, it has this incredible ability to contextually upsell and bundle services in a way that feels deeply personal and genuinely helpful, rather than just pushy.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer efficiency of the technology. For Hilton EMEA, clicks actually increased by 33%, but incredibly, their ad spend decreased by 80%. Just think about that. They captured 1/3 more engagement for 1/5 of the cost. By aligning with AI-driven discovery, brands can dramatically lower their customer acquisition costs while simultaneously driving higher value. It's a real game changer. Here's another really powerful metric for you: 10%. Etsy implemented AI-powered personalization and generative AI for their product alt text. This resulted in a 10% uplift in search volume. But crucially, 15% of those queries were completely net new to their business. The AI was able to connect abstract, conversational customer searches with Etsy's inventory in ways that traditional, rigid keyword matching never ever could. Look, agentic commerce is not some distant, futuristic concept from a sci-fi movie. It is being deployed by retail giants today. Ulta Beauty has integrated UCP to allow streamlined checkout directly inside Gemini. Macy's just launched Ask Macy's, which is a digital concierge. But it isn't just a basic chat bot, it's a multimodal agent featuring virtual try-on capabilities. And Wayfair? They're using these exact AI protocols on the back end to automate their product catalog enrichment, moving 5 times faster to ensure their data speaks the absolute right language for AI discovery.
Section 5. Monetizing agentic commerce and business models.
Let's move to the strategy and see how this all builds together. Drawing on some fantastic frameworks from the pricing strategy firm Simon Kucher, there are basically 3 core ways to monetize this. First, you've got direct monetization, which is usage-based. You charge per API call, or in the case of Intercom's Fin AI, they actually charge 99 cents for every customer query that the AI successfully resolves. Second is indirect monetization. Here, the AI is essentially a free tool used to drive other revenue, like Booking.com using a Gen AI trip planner to seamlessly cross-sell car rentals and flights. And finally, value-based pricing. This ties your pricing directly to the measurable economic value to the customer, or EVC. If your AI tool saves an industrial client millions in downtime, your pricing scales with that delivered value, rather than just charging a flat, boring software fee.
And you know, even the absolute tech giants are evolving their business models for this era. Google is actively developing what they call agentic tasks. So instead of just showing you an ad for a flight and taking a basic cost-per-click fee, Gemini will actually autonomously book the ticket or make that restaurant reservation for you. Google's monetization model then shifts toward earning transaction-based commissions on those completed agentic tasks. The real value moves from simply providing a link to actually executing the service.
Which leaves us with this final, critical question for you to take away today. As AI agents rapidly replace traditional websites and become the new digital storefront, is your business ready? I mean, is your catalog truly optimized for conversational discovery? And most importantly, are your systems prepared to speak the language of the Universal Commerce Protocol and accept secure payments through AP2? The transition from fast or smart to speed and certainty isn't coming. It's happening right now. The entrepreneurs who adapt to these agent-led workflows are absolutely going to define the next decade of digital commerce. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time as we continue to decode the future.